Welcome to Message Reveal. Message Reveal identifies a vibe, a message, or a story told through lyrics of a song. So I'm ready to introduce our new guest. Yes, but before I do so, I need to tell you just a few, and I mean just a few things that our guest is associated with. So one, he is a author. Look, and I love what he does with these books. We'll talk about that much more. He's also what I believe, and he can correct me if I'm wrong. You have adult life coaches. He's a kid life coach. Yes, kids need it, but they don't know it, and the parents don't know it. But he's a kid's life coach. And last, well, I won't say but least, but one more thing. He just released his EP on Monday. It's super dope. We're going to talk more about that. But if everybody can put their hands together and welcome my brother from a different mother and a father, but he's my brother, Mr. Brandon Ervin. What's up, partner?
How you doing? How's it going?
I am doing well. First of all, thank you for saying yes to me. And let's be real, you have no other choice. If you my brother, you got to rock with me, right?
Of course. And first I want to say thank you for having me. It's humbling. So I appreciate you having me on. I've been watching the show and watching the podcast and keeping up. So I appreciate you having me on. So,
Oh,
thank you.
thank you. I truly, truly appreciate that. Um, just to say that we've been knowing each other for what, about 7, 8 years?
7, 8 years. Yeah. Seven,
It
8 years.
yeah, somewhere around there. And it's been a pleasure no matter where you have moved to or where you have left. We still keep in touch, and that's what brothers and sisters do, right?
Of course, of course. And when we didn't work together, we worked together and all those things. So
Yes,
yeah, yeah.
and he mentioned he was my supervisor at one point. But when I met you, I knew you would do that. But when I met you initially, you were working for another entity, and then you came over and you were my supervisor. And for the record, you were super dope. You always trusted my vision and how I wanted to execute things, and you supported. So I couldn't have asked for a better supervisor. Let me be real. So, and that's why, let's be real, I wouldn't have never kept in touch with you if it was anything other than that.
But let's be real. You were definitely about your business, and I know that you were gonna take care of your business. So I never was really one to meddle into people's things. As long as we take care of business, we good. I knew I had everything handled when it came to your stuff. So it never was like that. And I never was the type to be like titles and all that stuff. So even hearing that, but I appreciate it. But
No, because it needed to be known how, one, how we know each other, and two, out of respect, I really enjoyed that time we worked together. And again, if it was not good, we would not have kept in touch. Real talk.
understandable, understandable.
So I'm going to transition back. I'm gonna back the train back just a little. And when I introduced you, I said that you are a life coach for children. Did you disagree with me on that?
No, I don't disagree with it. I think
Okay.
it's kind of like it's different things that could be kind of titles that could be put on things in regards to it. Because I feel like it's a passion. So it's not really even just like for me to really put a title on, I got to do that for
Yes.
for the masses. But if it's just part of what you do, it's just part of, who you are.
Yes.
Like, cause I've worked with kids for a very long time. So, it's kind of just like part of what I do and part of who I am, really.
And you always have that connection. Like, I've been working with children for many, many years. I'm not going to say how many years, but I remember one particular time you and I had well, you were coming to support me for a event we had. And I remember you connecting with a little boy, and you had said something to him, and he asked how old you were, and you told him you were his same age. And that just tickled him, and the conversation went on. And before you know it, you had a group of other boys. And I just love how organically that you connected with the children and build a relationship. And they were like, "Are you sure you're the age?" And you were reassuring, like, "Yes, I'm only 9 years old." They're like, "No." But it was the engagement part and how you got their attention right away. And not only the person you were going back and forth with, the other boys got, they were like, "Wow." So you have that special connection with children, and I've seen that firsthand. So don't ever let that go away, because our babies are our future, and some of the things that you do with children, some grown folks can benefit from that as well, my perspective.
I appreciate
So
it.
when I say that, let's talk about your you have two books.
hmm
One of my, I love the titles, both of them. Listen, what it says, "I Like Myself." Is that one of the books, right?
I like me.
I Like Me, excuse me. I
Yeah,
Like Me.
yeah,
That is such an essential part of growing. You have to like yourself. Can you
yeah.
speak on what was the catalyst for you to write that particular book?
Well, the reason I wrote that book is because, like, especially nowadays, a lot of kids and just what's going on in the world, it's kind of hard for one person to, or for kids nowadays to kind of like define themselves because they got people telling them how to be this way, or people telling them how to be this way, or
That
seeing
part.
things and seeing this and that. That it makes them kind of hard to just say like, I like myself. Like, what are things that you like about yourself first and foremost? So, and that's kind of like part of growing up, where people get ribbed on for this or clown for this or that, and that's just part of what comes with the territory. But then you got to be able to find certain things in yourself to say, no matter what's going on, I like myself. So
Yes.
I think it was a good thing for kids. So I wrote it for like younger kids, so that it's just something that they could try to identify things that they like in themselves too, and just go, I like me.
That's right. Let me be real, dude. That was the blueprint. Okay. I mean, when it all boils down to it, you have to like yourself. And I like that you're giving it to our babies very young. We need those seeds to grow at a very, very young age. So thank you for that. And then, yes, he's the author of two books. And the second book is My Best Shot. Again, some grown folks need to understand your best shot. How did that come about, if you don't mind me asking?
um, well, I really want to kind of like create like a series of books where it's kind of like different things that are going on. So first of all, like the books are called Jerron's Journeys. And
Yes.
so we're basically going through different things that he's going through in his life. And I feel like it's certain things that kids may go against, or even adults. We kind of go through it ourselves too. Like, so even some of the messages can kind of cross over. You might, find a message in it yourself. But for my
Yes.
best shot, it was kind of like just having a goal or having something that you really want to do, but realizing that you're not where you want to be at that point. So like what it was really focusing on is him having to focus in on his goals, practice. It's basketball that he likes, so he wants to become great at basketball. So he realizes that he has to continue to practice. He has to continue to play well, even if it's not going well, or when he's playing, they not even passing him the ball type of thing. And it's like, man, keep practicing and keep doing well. And then he tries to find a way to turn a corner. And then he starts to realize that, no matter what was going on, if he sticks to it and works hard, he might be able to see his goals come to fruition. So that's
I
where my best
love
shot came
that.
from.
I love that part, because we all need encouragement. That's why I say yes, it may apply to the kids, but us adults can take a piece of that and it can resonate with us as well.
Right.
So I'm going to transition to something else. So you know that, live rich, live rich, live rich, live rich. Yes, I love what it says, because it gets the kids' attention, but it's not exactly what you think it is. Because
Right.
we have everybody talking about living rich, but it is an acronym for
Right.
something greater. So
Yeah.
can you tell us about it?
Yeah. So Live Rich is a consulting company that I started for myself. And what it comes from is I had a long background working in social services. Just like we said, we worked together. So I worked with some organizations where I was worked my way up to director and then worked my way up to another director position. And it was cool. It was good. Like, I'm not gonna lie, you see a little paper, but for me, it was just like the further I got up, the further I got away from working with the kids. And when
Mm.
people ask me that, ask me why I started it, that's the same story. So I know it may sound like an elevator speech, but if people know me, like I'm just being real, like that's the
Yes.
truth. Like I just felt like I was getting further away from the kids. So after a while, I just said, you know what, man, I'm gonna have to take this leap of faith because I always wanted to do this and start my own where I could find a way to get messages to kids. And so I started what's called Live Rich. And it's an acronym, but it stands for respect, integrity, confidence, and humility.
Wait,
So
I'm just gonna stop you one more time because I need that part to dig deep, deep and come out. So can you say that one more time, just so everybody understand what Live Rich is all about?
it's Live Rich, and it stands for respect, integrity, confidence, and humility. And so, and so I named it that, and I had that name for a long time. Like this shows how speaking things into existence and having things kind of like on your mind and continuing to push forward is something that you can work for. Because I had this name for a long time, but
Wow.
the the premise behind it is just live rich. When everybody thinks about stuff, coming up, especially where most of us are from or most backgrounds for the most part, it's like it's about who has the most stuff, who has the most money, who has the most this, who has the most that. So I know when people see it, that's gonna catch their eye. I mean, I have shirts and stuff now, so people will see it, and the first thing that you see, they kind of look like, huh? What's that all about? Then when they like look in and see the acronym, it's like, oh, okay. And that's kind of what it really stands for because I wanted it to catch people's attention, but know that it's more than that. And
Yeah.
so even the motto of my business is called "It's not about what you have, it's about who you are."
Mm.
So even when you think about living rich, like it's not about always what you got. It's about who you are as a person, like the kind of mark that you
Yes.
leave on people in the world, like more than what you got. So
Yes, I love that. I love that. We talking some good stuff right there. I like that. Seriously, I do. Um, I just feel like everything you do is really centered around the kids. Even your music is centered
mhm,
around, and we'll talk about you just like I said, you put out your EP on Monday.
mhm.
Congratulations. Clap, clap that up.
Thank you, thank you, thank
And I
you.
got chance, maybe I'm a little special, but I got chance to hear one of the songs
Mhm,
and I absolutely fell in love with the song. And it's so this song it can resonate for eons and eons. And the name of it is Peace of Mind.
right.
What made you write that? Because we all need peace of mind. And before you say that, I just want to give you the background. So you sent it to me. I'm like, okay. I didn't think I received it. I called you back. It was like, wait a minute. I didn't receive it. You was like, no, I sent it to your email. So I'm setting the atmosphere. I'm riding in my car. It's probably 8 o'clock at night. Beautiful night. I got the windows cracked just a little bit. And I put the music on. Oh my gosh. It is a banger for real because not only the beat that comes in, I was like, oh, uh, I was like, oh my gosh, is this Brandon? The Brandon that I know? It was so enjoyable. Let me tell you how much it was enjoyable. Played that over and over again, maybe four more times, because the words so resonated with my spirit. And I know you want people to purchase, but can you just give us a little bit of what you talk about in Peace of Mind? Because everybody needs it.
Yeah, yeah. And thank you for that. I appreciate that. It's not even about purchase, really, to be honest. Like the music came about for me where it was really like I wanted to incorporate it into what I was trying to do for the schools and for my organization, for my business. And so I was just trying to figure out ways that I could connect with kids more. And I'm like, I love to do music. And I kind of stopped for a while because you get caught in that I have to go to work. And that's when I like part of the I'm gonna do my own thing. I was like, why not? And so I said, just make positive music and music for the kids that the kids can relate to or something that the kids can connect with. And so like the first EP that I had put out, like the Live Rich song that you was talking about, That one is just basically songs when I started creating to say, like, when I go to schools, I'm gonna perform these songs to like do with the
Oh,
kids. So those are more like those kind of songs for like the elementary age kids, like to do songs and like more chant type things and things like that. But this one that you talk about, the new one with Peace of Mind, I kind of started just saying like I'm about to really get back into my music stuff, like because I love doing music. So like I'm about to get back into it, and so these songs are getting like deeper into like real stuff and like trying to motivate and just trying to put people in the right space, right, right place of mind. You know what I mean? Because it could be
yes.
tough out here, especially now with what's going on. So, um, Peace of Mind was something that I wrote because it's as simple as that. Peace of mind,
Well,
like.
yes, it is. But can you give a couple of bars so people can feel what I'm feeling until they actually hear it? First of all, the beat is dope. I feel like uh, uh, I was like, oh, but give us just
Okay.
a little.
I'll give part of the second verse. Um, in the time where people really only out for themselves, I wish you everything you wish for yourself. Prosperity, success, and even throwing the wealth. But I can tell you something more important than them. It's your peace of mind when your mind's at peace. A different living when your mind's at ease. You're not stressing over minor things. You're too focused on the finer things, but got capacity for all things major and strategy when things aren't in your favor.
Say
Make sure
that.
you always got a plan for the get backs because you know this life comes with its setbacks
Oh,
and we still push forward. Good or bad times, we're built for it. Stand on your principles for real, heel toe it. And we going for the score, no field goal kick. So yeah,
that's what I'm talking about. And then if there's some dope music in the background, I'm telling you, you can ride at night, listen to it. You could be at the cookout. I mean, literally, we need
right.
to flood the market with things like this. Like, we need people to understand you can have that dope beat along with the dope message. Because it's
Right,
a lot of times we'll listen to music and be like, dang, they ain't talking about nothing, but the beat is dope. This is a
right.
combination of both. So I need you to continue to flood the market with things like that. So
I appreciate
I
that.
just really enjoyed that, and I want people to know. And when they actually check it out, I'm pretty sure they'll have the same reaction I have.
I hope so. Like and not to shameless plug because it's me and you. I'm about to start really being myself now. We doing the
Hey,
once we
listen.
get into the music part, we gonna get into the music part. But hold on. But
Yes.
uh honestly, to get the music or to find the music, you can find it on all platforms and it's under Coach Irv, because that's what I go to the school under. So
Okay.
it's Coach Irv, and you can find it on like Apple. You can find it on Spotify and all that stuff. It's under Coach Irv.
Can you spell it out just in case they don't get it right? So we want to make sure they go directly there.
Yes, because people have messed up my last name for a long time. But
Yes.
it's CoachErv.
Yes.
So Coach Irv. And then like you'll see the EP. So the first one is called The Principles, and the second one is called The Handbook. So that's where you can find the music and you can kind of get the songs and hear what's going on.
That's what's up. I love that.
Yeah,
I love that. Well,
yeah.
as we transition on, and just know I have some other questions, I have some other things. So you just not done with me. This is a special edition, okay, for my brother.
We good. We good.
Okay, long as you ready to rock, because we flow here.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I always ask my guests,
Hmm.
what makes you tick? What makes you boil? What gives you life?
What gives me life? Uh, honestly, the thought of, and this might be crazy, like when I leave, right?
Ooh, okay, legacy.
Yeah, like when I leave, I honestly want like because a lot goes on in a lot, and it's not about like what people think about you, but it's like how they say people might not remember what you say to them, but they remember how you make them feel.
Yes.
I would just want people to say like he was a solid dude. Like not a lot of people to be like, oh, he was it, he was that. He was a solid dude. Like you know what I mean? Like and
Wow.
left some kind of impact. So like even with what I'm doing now with the other stuff, it's like leaving an impact. Like what what kind of impact will you leave? That's what keeps me ticking.
I like that you said that. I had a conversation with someone, and people right now, everything is about data, 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 data. And yes, it's necessary to an extent.
Yeah.
I'm big on impact because impact
Mm-hmm.
will go from a next generation. So I'm glad you said that. And during the time I've known you, that's what you've done. You've created impact. And I'm glad to know that that's what your core being, that's what makes you tick and make you boil to get to that point to continue to produce impact. Because the data numbers get old, impact doesn't. Am I right?
That's what part of me leaving had to do with it, because a
Yes.
lot of times it's like you'll see a lot of schools and programs, different things bringing, oh, this look good, but it's like if you don't take the time to get to know the kids, you're not really gonna make no impact. I don't care
Absolutely.
what you bring in, because if you come in just bringing things, and they will just go, oh, you the person that bring things. Cool, I'll be cool with you because you the person that bring things.
Mm,
Cool, that's one thing, but it's like to get to know them, especially
yes.
with what's going on. Again, I know I keep saying, with what's going on today, sometimes don't nobody just want to get to know them, like, who are you as a person? Like, so if you don't do that first, you're not gonna make any real adjustments. I don't think you have a chance, but it's slim to none. You got to
Well,
make a connection.
you talking some good stuff in my book. So anyway, as we transition on, Mr. Ervin,
Uh-huh.
I ask my guests this. Can you please identify a lyric to a song that either has blessed you, has distracted you, or provided some perspective in life?
Hmm. Uh, Probably like a Jay Z line.
Okay, give
Uh,
it to me.
Part of the verse, he was like, so they made light of my type of dreams seem dumb. They said, wise up. How many guys are you see making it from here? The world don't like us. Is that not clear? All right, but I'm different. I can't base what I'm gonna be off of what everybody isn't. They don't listen. Just whispering behind my back. No vision, lack of ambition. So whack. Man,
That was a whole bar. That's what I'm talking about.
Jay-Z a cold boy.
But it makes you think.
Yeah.
And why do you resonate with those particular lyrics so much?
I mean, and it's not even about the last part, because the last part he kind of just like, stunting on him. It's not really about the stunt on him part. It's like where he's just saying like, sometimes again, like where you from, or if you got dreams or something that's different from the norm or what everybody else thinks, is like you should do this or you should do that. They often to make fun of it, or they often to question it, or they might not, really rock with you, which, it's okay. That's gonna happen.
Mhm.
But how he kind of saying in the same sense how he responded to that is like, you made light of my dreams. They say the world don't like us. Is that not clear? And he like, all right, but I'm different. I can't
Yes,
base what I'm gonna be off of what everybody isn't. Like, I can make the excuses, I can do those kind of things, but I can't base what I'm gonna be off of what everybody isn't. Like, all
that's
that's
right.
true, but I can't base what I'm gonna be off of what everybody isn't. And so
Yes,
that's the part was just like that you got to keep pushing type thing. So that's like my favorite Jay-Z song right there. That's
I
yeah.
love that. I like that. It gives you something to think about. And that's what we
Mhm.
should use music for, the higher elevation, for the platform to make us think. And of course, yes, I'm like Michael Jackson. He said, I'm a slave to the beat. That beat, when it gets you, you be like,
Music is woo.
it just, you understand what I'm talking about.
Music,
It,
that's my thing. That's my
yes,
thing.
it'll grab you in, take you, and music take you and hold you real tight and talk to you good,
It sure
talk to you
do.
real good.
It'll put you in a good space. It'll bring you up when you're down. It'll just make you gig when you want to gig.
There you go. There you
Music,
go.
music can do a lot. It bridges a lot
Yes,
of gaps. That's for sure.
yes. Well, I'm glad you said that. Thank you for sharing that particular song. Also, a lot of times we have times where we're challenged, and everybody has that up and down where you have your peaks and your valleys.
Hmm.
And I was wondering, could you identify a tap in song? Like it was nobody available, it was nobody you could talk to, and you needed something to lift your spirits up, and you tapped into this song and it brought you up. Like you like, oh, okay, it does it for me.
Uh, dang, that's a lot of songs.
Well, if you have a couple you can share, but a song that just really pulls your spirit up every time you hear it.
Well, it's one recently or more recently because I mess with PJ Morton heavy. I'm a R&B head, but I'm like, I like them
Yes.
different kind of PJ on a different level. So PJ Morton, he got a song and it's called Watch the Sun, and that song is pretty dope.
Yes.
Uh, I like that.
Yes.
It'll kind of give you that vibe and kind of like, kind of
Yes.
pick you up.
Yes, that is very true.
Hmm.
Um, do you have any lyrics from that particular song that you can share?
uh,
I'm putting you on Front Street. Yes, I
I
am.
already know, already know. Uh, just a little bit of the hook, but I ain't about to be all vocalizing. But it's just wait till the morning. I know it's been so dark for you. Watch the sun come shining through. Do 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 do. Woo!
Yes. But it's true. It is so true.
Yeah.
Think about the lyrics of the song. Sometimes we can be in a way, and all we have to do is just get to the morning, get to the next day, and we can see a different perspective, a different point of view. So he's so tapped in. I just love, I mean, when I saw him in concert, I was like, he gave us a
Man,
whole, at the end, he gave us a whole church. Like I didn't walk out, I
man.
glide out. Okay.
I understand. He's one that I haven't seen yet, and I gotta see him. Like, man, he was in LA, I think, a month ago or something. And I couldn't get no tickets. I was so mad. But just like that song right there, like he said, how many times have we all been in the position where it's just like, I don't know how I'm gonna get out of this, how I'm gonna get out of this, and we here today.
There you go. That's called resilience.
We still here. So
Yes.
at a point in time, he was saying, I don't know how I'm gonna get forward, move forward, or how I'm gonna get to the next step, but we here, like.
Yes.
And
Yes.
at the end of the day, like, because I'm a person that deal in facts. I like to believe that I'm a person that deal in facts. I'm sorry, I know that, boo boo, but no matter what we go through, like we have been through those things, and we have come out on the other side because we here now. Even
Yes.
if we not as whole as we were before, we still here. So there's a chance to become whole again.
That's right.
But we made it out. Like, you know what I
Yes.
mean? So it's like that's something to look forward to keep pushing. Like,
It is. It's an accomplishment in itself. It's a song that I always listen to. It's a gospel song. I look back and wonder how I got over. If it wasn't for that, sometimes I was like, wait a minute. If
mm-hmm,
oh, I'm coming hard in the paint
mm-hmm,
because that right there, that's a part of your timeline to get you to say, okay, I've done this, I made it through this. Yeah, this may not have been, but look, I'm still standing. That's all you need.
mm-hmm.
Period.
It's a stepping stone. It's a stepping stone to go to the next thing to say, I've done that, to use that as a step. Like, I've done that. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Absolutely.
what's next? I've
Yeah.
done that.
There
What
you
you
go.
saying?
There you go. And we have to do that. We have to keep that a part of our mental resume so we can tap in and encourage ourselves. Because I'm a big believer in tapping in. I believe in the spirit and all that. I know you facts, but I'm a spirit girl. That's probably why
I
we
still
friends.
ride with it. I still ride with it. I'm just saying, I still ride with you.
Okay, because if I tell you, well, the
I
spirit,
know.
you went
I
with
know you. You said it to me before, and I go, I feel you. So I'm
yes.
with that too. I'm with
Yes,
you.
because I was getting ready to say, I was like, well, the spirit telling me, you was like, well, I know you thinking in your head, Halima, but you said, okay, go ahead. And then when it works, I said, I told
I
you.
told you.
But that's just who I am, and it has worked
I
for me.
respect it.
I don't push it on anybody else, but I'm thankful for it. So anyway, so can you tell me who is your all-time favorite artist? Like drop dead, like
Ooh,
who do you love? You like,
ooh, that's tough.
what?
Uh,
I knew I was gonna give you a tough one.
ooh. Can I do a rap side and a R&B side?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay. Rap all time is DJ Quick of all time. I don't care what nobody say. He's one of the most underrated, most disrespected
You know
DJ
what?
Quick, for real.
I I can feel that because your song "Peace of Mind" has some undertones. Now that you say that, from my perspective, of
DJ
some
Quick,
DJ Quick.
all day, all day.
Yes.
DJ Quick. On the other side, for the R&B,
Mm,
that's tough.
mm.
Um, all time, maybe Stevie Wonder. If we going all time,
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
all time.
Oh, shout
Yeah.
out to Stevie. And why do you identify with Stevie?
Um, like I said, music is different for me. Like church, growing up in church, music was different. My mama used to test me like everything I love. My mama used to test me when I was young. I'll be 6, 7 in the back seat, and the song would come on. She be like, "Who this?" Like, the Whispers. But I'll be young and really be knowing who it is. Like,
Wow.
cause she'd test me. Like when music come on, who is this? Who is this? And Stevie was just like Stevie just stood out. Then when you found out that he played like all his instruments, and then it's like, man. And when you just and that he was blind, and at the same time, it's just like to
Yes.
create what he created is just crazy,
Isn't it? And think
crazy.
about the vivid descriptions that he would give, and you like, wait a minute. Somebody telling me a story. I think you can see because it was so
It was crazy,
it yes, and you're like, wait, what?
crazy. Stevie's
That's
different level.
called brilliant, period.
Yeah, yeah, genius.
Yes, and there you go. And it's funny. So since let's talk about you said your mother used to grill you. So what kind of music that was played in your home as a child?
Uh, a lot of the old school Motown and stuff like that. My pops listened to a lot of jazz, so like he had jazz on, like so
Okay.
that's
Give
where that
me
came in, huh?
give me one jazz person
Uh,
that you
he listened to a lot of Coltrane.
Okay.
Um,
Awesome.
who else did he listen to a lot of? He was heavy into the trumpet aspect of it all.
Okay.
But that was my thing. When I was younger, I just didn't really understand it as much.
Mm-hmm.
But I always was an ear. So like I'm listening to it, but I would always more make jokes like like, but I'm listening the whole time.
Yes.
So like the older I get, the older I got, the more appreciation I got for it because it was just like, oh, I get that now, and the different patterns and what they were doing and how they were just and how that's could be more of a feel and that could be like so it grew the older I got. But that's what happened with the jazz. And then my like I said, my mom was a lot of Motown and stuff like that. So that's where I was getting grilled on that. And I was in church, like my family was in church, but my cousin played drums.
Oh.
He was dope. And so instead of being like sitting in the church, I'll be sitting in the back in the drums, like with the drums with him. And
Oh.
so they had such a dope band, like they'll be playing stuff and then they'll be slipping in D'Angelo and stuff on the side. And the older church people wouldn't know what was going on. They just clapping. And they'll be so we'll be in the back. We'll be in the back busting up like, ooh, that was smooth how y'all slipped that in there. And they don't even know what's going on. They slipping in brown sugar and all kind of stuff. But they was dope.
Oh.
But like that's where like my ear for music is just like and just seeing it like that is just like, dang, they just did that on the spot. Like they just did that and still connected. It came back. Like so even though I like making music and I can't really do none of that,
Yes.
my appreciation for it all is It's just I saw it up close, so it was crazy.
Wow.
It was crazy.
That foundation, it will always make a difference. I like that though. You said slip that little D'Angelo in
Slip
there.
that
They was
right on
like,
in there.
we praising the Lord. It is
They said,
you're my lady.
they said, Lord, that was
You're
funky.
my Jesus.
They said, man, that was funky.
And
Getting
they
funky
probably
for the Lord today.
okay. And then the next day, oh, I like that. Da-doom, da-doom. My Jesus.
They was mixing it in
I
there.
can talk about now. Let me stop.
They was mixing it. I'm telling
But I
you.
mean, that's what it was. We gonna figure out how to be creative. Period.
Always.
So let's talk about one more thing about your particular company. And I love you have these weekly series that you put out to encourage the children. I hope it's encouraging the adults too. And one of the ones you talked about was the savings account, which I thought was dope, and it's not what you think. So, can you just talk a little bit about the savings account?
Yes. So I started something called what's called the weekly savings account. And so again, it's a play off the Live Rich. Um, Most of my things I try to, find a way to make a play off of that. So that's where that came from. Uh, and so look at me, I'm drawing a blank.
I'm sorry, I'm giving you I'm giving you too much too fast,
I got
huh?
caught all up in there. I'm still on the other. Okay.
That's all right. That's why we like it. This is the real podcast,
The
okay?
real, the real. I see we started getting too comfortable. Okay, let me come on back.
That's okay.
Okay. So the weekly savings account. It's a play off of that. And what I basically want to make it is a weekly deposit almost. And so what it is we're making a deposit into ourselves. And how can we better ourselves? How can we put ourselves in a better mind state? How can we put our best energy out forth into the world? So weekly, what I do is I just kind of come up with a different theme and a different thing that we can approach for the week and say, this is kind of like our goal for the week. Um, it has been put on pause because right now I have been researching and doing other things to try to get into some schools and things of that nature, but that's another story. But I'm actually picking that back up this week, so that's good that you brought that up. Thank you. But it's a weekly savings account, and so some things that we did were setting goals for yourself. That was one. How to make short-term goals and long-term goals, making sure you understand the difference, but making sure you put something on yourself, or where you don't put too much on yourself and say, let's make sure we're setting realistic goals at the same time. Because if
Hmm.
you put something that's too far out of sight, out of mind, if you don't reach it on that first attempt, first or second attempt, you can easily throw things away. Rather
Yeah.
than saying, if I got a short-term goal and I'm saying this is how I could get to what I ultimately want to do, because it takes steps to get there, that'll help keep you on track. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So things of that nature. Controlling your emotions. That was
Mm.
another one because a lot of times we make so many decisions and just say, well, I was mad or I was angry. Cool. It's not that you're wrong that you feel those emotions, but what can we do in that time to catch ourselves before we black out or before we make a decision that
Yes.
ultimately caused something that we didn't want to start in the first place? You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So those kind of things. That's what the weekly savings account is about.
I like that. It makes me think about I say this all the time. I got it from Bishop Leo LaFloy, and you probably heard me say, I have because I give.
Hmm.
I give because I have. And because of my giving, I'm never without, I'm never without, I'm never without. That brings me parallel to the savings account.
Hmm.
What are you putting in your account so when you need it, you can? And that's the thing. We've taught a lot of our babies to gimme, 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 gimme,
Hmm.
and they haven't put anything or deposited anything into the account
Right.
because we know emergency may come, right?
Yeah. And when you make that withdrawal,
And it's dust instead of something tangible. And I'm
right.
saying dust,
Mm.
meaning I'm talking on a spiritual level, meaning you
Hmm.
have nothing, you are empty, you don't know how to love yourself, you don't know how to reach out when you need help. So you have to deposit something in so you can have something to withdraw. So
That's it. That's
yes.
the thing.
So yes.
That's you just basically broke down what it means because you get those deposits so that when the time comes, you withdrawing on the right emotions, you withdrawing on the right decisions, you withdrawing on rather than drawing on anger, withdrawing on this, or withdrawing on something that you're gonna look back and go, man.
But
So
these
that was
things need.
brilliant.
Thank you. And thank you for even giving that perspective about the savings account, because at the end of the day, we want to give them the tools now while they're young. So
Mm-hmm.
when you're an adult and you really wilding out, and the last thing, if you cannot control or have conflict resolution as an adult, where you going? You either going to the graveyard,
Yep.
to the jailhouse, or
Yep.
long-term prison stint. And that's not
Yep.
where we want you to go.
Yep. I
So
like to tell the kids now, when you get older, it's not gonna be a principal office that you go
say that.
to. So we got to figure this out. You know what I mean?
That's real talk. You giving our babies what we definitely need, and the work you're doing, the work that I do with children, I believe is so necessary, because guess what? 30 years from now, because I plan to still be here, I
Mm-hmm.
want to be able to drop enough seeds, and I'm pretty sure you agree with this, that they're growing in the right direction. If we don't do something now, we will feel the benefits of it, and it will not be good if we
Right.
don't do something now. So we
Right.
have to make a difference.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah. So this is I love this part where we talk about high energy, elevation, all of that. I just always get hyped on that part. So can you identify a lyric of a song where you've seen, like, if a crowd repeat a song together, it's typically high elevation. Either you have been a part of the crowd or you have watched the crowd actually participate. Like, for example, happy birthday. You see, when you sing that, you could be out in a restaurant, people's like, oh, happy birthday. And then if they know what we're really singing, they like, happy birthday to ya.
Right.
Happy birthday. And they join right in. You'd be like, oh, this is my play cousin right here.
Right. Right. It just started up a whole family reunion. Everybody
There
let it
you
slide.
go.
You got
There you go.
it.
So can you identify a song?
Um, I don't know why this song is just popping into my head right now, and
Go
I
with the
gotta,
spirit. Go with the spirit.
yeah, boom, 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 boom,
It's like,
boom, candy, and
yes.
Go get up and let you slide to that.
Yes, that's a good one. I cannot tell you how many movies, The Best Man, that I think of right now, but you hear that beat, like how
Let
you
that
did
bass line come in. Bloop, 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 bloop. It's
that.
over. It's over.
Yes, yes. That is definitely a good one. And I must say that is the first time somebody did cameo.
Oh, Cameo used to
Yes. I love that
play some hits.
cameo was different
Mm-hmm.
and was okay, just like the song. I'll be hanging downtown. Ah, but I was like, oh, cameo, go ahead.
I ain't got nothing, but you feel me.
Okay. But I love that.
Yeah.
He was so versatile. And it just goes to show, when you know yourself, do you?
Do
Everybody,
you?
like, for example, the podcast, it may not resonate with everyone, but the ones that it rock with,
Yeah.
come on.
Let's go. If you ride,
Yes.
let's roll. If you ride,
Yes.
let's roll.
Yes. Yes. Well, I have had such a wonderful time with you. We listen, you have standing invitation to come on anytime you want to. Some people might be mad, but you're my brother. And we're just gonna say we're gonna be doing something together in the future. We won't talk about it,
Yep.
but this
Yep.
platform we'll talk about when we're actually ready to do what we do, right? So
It's coming
this
though.
yes, yes. So before we get out of here, can you talk about any upcoming events you have coming up, any social media handles, or anything you would like to provide to my audience?
Okay. Well, once again, first of all, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Thank you. Um, as far as getting in contact and getting information, the website is livingrichdnow.com. That's the overall website. So you can go on there. As far as people that are interested, that's where you can get information on how I can go into school programming. I do like assemblies for kids, as I talked about earlier, working on different programming to go into the schools, 5-week programming, 10-week programming, things of that nature, mentoring and things of that sort as well.
Yes.
I've been talking to a couple of people, been trying to work with some, even like some parks and recs and things of that nature, and kind of getting in connection with some of those people and trying to do some programming there. So that's something that I'm looking to do. And also the schools that I've done assemblies with, I have one that I'm going to be doing a program with, and I'll be starting with them in a couple of weeks. So yeah. So things are coming together. So it's really cool. If you want to check things out on Instagram, it's live underscore rich underscore now. Live underscore rich underscore now. And that's where you'll find all those different things. Like Halima talked about, there's different things that there's books that I have, the 2 books. There's the music that I have, the weekly savings account that's going on. And we've even talked about this. I want to be interviewing as well, some people as well.
Yes.
And
Yes.
and she will be hopefully returning the favor for me as well. Um,
Absolutely.
because what I want to do is put together some interviews so that kids can see people that have made a way for themselves, figured out a different way to just make a way for themselves, whatever that may be, however they did it and however they came through. It's just something that I think that the kids need to see, much
Mhm.
like the music that I've been doing. I feel like it may not be for everybody, but some kids might need to hear this. Maybe when you're taking them to school, you put this on instead, where it's something that's helping them work on their confidence, something that's helping them face the world that we got going on today. Maybe this is something that you put on when you're cleaning up the house. It don't have to be all the time, but maybe it's something that they just need to hear because there's so much other stuff going on that every now and then they need to be reminded that this ain't easy and you're gonna have to push forward and you're gonna have to find a way to make it happen.
Yes.
Sorry for rambling, but those are the ways that you
No.
can that you can get in touch. And again, I appreciate you for having me on today.
Oh, you are welcome. Well, before we get out of here, I always say my little speech and I talk about the journey and the destination. The journey is where we learn and we grow, and the destination is where we celebrate. I do believe we must celebrate. But the key to it all is to get back into that journey and continue to live and figure it out. So before we get out of here, with my women, I always bow, and my men, I salute them. So before we get out of here, I salute you with all
Out
respect.
to you.
Oh, well, thank you. I salute you. And you guys, please give a warm round of applause to my brother, Mr. Brandon Ervin. And before I leave, I try to give my guests the last word. Is there anything you'd like to say?
um,
And this may be to a parent at a particular school that they know their school needs a little bit more guidance or support. What would you say to that parent to say, hey, I can come and do something to start a program, like you said, it's 5 week or 10 week?
well, basically the message behind it all, like I said, with the respect, integrity, confidence, and humility, is to hone in on those things because there's some things that are common. We hear all the time, respect. Um, but how many times are we really preaching what that looks like?
Mm,
What that feels like. You know what I
mm,
mean? Like, because it's one thing to respect people, but when you really break that down and talk about those kind of things, what does that really look and feel like?
hmm.
Even when it comes to integrity, yeah, we talk about doing the right thing, but then it goes deeper because I feel like even when you talk about integrity, uh, that comes with goals. Because if you have goals set for yourself, then it's a lot easier to make the right decision even when nobody's looking because I got goals for myself. It ain't about what everybody else got going on.
Yes.
It's about myself. So if I have goals set for myself, it'll help steer me in the right path. Even when I'm coming against those people might say, hey, come do this. Hey, come, you know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing real quick. I seen all that. I get it. Cool. But it's easier to make the decision to say, I'm not going to go that way when you're working with integrity. When it comes to confidence, again, everything that's going on right now, it can be easy to get down on yourself, or easy to get down on whatever it is you have going on with yourself. If you identify things that you like within yourself, or if you identify things that you want to do and you just kind of pursue those things and you have that growth mindset where it's like, even when things go wrong, I'm going to find a way to learn from that.
Yes.
It puts you in a better mind state as compared to as soon as I come up against a barrier, I'm going to just, hang my head and go the other way. Instead of that, it makes you say, if you have a growth mindset, you say, okay, what did I do? What can I do different next time?
There you go.
Or what's a different way that I could just approach this in general? You know what I mean? So that's where that comes in as well. And when it comes to humility, that takes you very far too, because I feel like life is about relationships.
Yes.
So if you constantly only worried about yourself or constantly thinking that you're better than others and those kind of things, you can't really move forward that way. And let's be honest, how many people do you like to be around that we all know a couple people like that, and it's like, I kind of see you and what's up now, but
Yes.
I ain't really messing with you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't even want to be around those kind of people.
Yeah.
So you got to try to put all those kind of things into perspective. So that's why, even though this stuff that I do is like for the kids, this is stuff that we as grown-ups need to keep hearing and remembering ourselves too.
Absolutely.
And our kids are a lot more mature than we were, and seeing and hearing and going through a lot more stuff than we were in our younger days. So they mature enough to rap some of them lyrics. They mature enough to hear some of this stuff and say, it ain't just about,
yes,
it's about what you do as well. Take accountability in those things.
yes.
It's easy to go like this. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, that's easy. The real work comes from, all right, what can I do better? What did I do in that relationship to make things go this way?
Yes.
And so it's those kind of things that, I like to talk to kids. You see, you got me going. I'm getting all passionate.
No, that's good. That's good. That means I bring out the best in you.
Right.
Well, thank you. I'm going to sign off. Again, I appreciate you for saying yes. Just know whenever you have another book, you do another EP, whatever, when you start your podcast, let me know. And I'm always open for you to use my forum.
I appreciate that, and I wish you continued success on the
Thank
on the
you. I'll
pod. It's
talk to
going
you
well.
soon.
All right, yeah, have a good one.
Thanks.
In the time where people really only out for theyself, I wish you everything you wish for yourself. Prosperity, success, and even throwing the wealth. But I can tell you something more important than them. It's your peace of mind when your mind's at peace. A different living when your mind's at ease. You're not stressing over minor things. You're too focused on the finer things, but got capacity for all things major. It's strategy when things aren't in your favor. Make sure you always have a plan for the get backs, cause we know this life comes with its setbacks.